Do you feel totally stuck and frustrated when trying to understand French conversations? You are not alone. The French speak fast, which creates an even bigger difference between written French and spoken French. In this lesson, I am going to explain how you can understand fast spoken French. Yes, you can. I will start with why you are struggling with understanding spoken French, and then I'll explain how to fix it. So, what are the biggest challenges of spoken French? First up, we have consonant links. In spoken French, when a word ends with a pronounced consonant and is followed by a word beginning with a vowel, we link these two, the consonant and the vowel, and say them together in the same syllable. Une, I, as the last letter of a word, is silent. So the word une ends in a consonant sound. M. Histoire. H is silent in French, so the word histoire begins with a vowel sound, I. So, if these two words are together, they are pronounced this way, une histoire. Consonant links rearrange sounds. We don't say une histoire, we say une histoire. Consonant links are a natural way of speaking. The French don't think about them. It's not that they are compulsory, optional, or forbidden. It's something the French do naturally. So if you want, you can associate them with an obligation. So you always make consonant links in French unless you are pausing between words, for example, to catch your breath or because you're looking for your words. And there's no limit to the number of consonant links in a sentence. Elle arrive à quelle heure? Let's look at other examples of consonant links. Je ferme ma clé. J'appelle un ami. Je prépare à manger. However, the aspirated H prevents consonant links. Une Hollandaise. But this rule is not always applied.
Et une initiative hollandaise.
Il y a une designeuse hollandaise.
Une Hollandaise et puis...
Next, we have vowel links. In spoken French, when a word ends with a vowel sound and is followed by a word beginning with a vowel, these two vowel sounds side by side are pronounced one after the other without pause. Remember that in French, there is only one vowel sound per syllable. It may be accompanied by a semi-vowel in the same syllable, but there are never two vowel sounds pronounced in the same syllable. So, two vowel sounds side by side in a sentence are not blended together. You don't say them in the same syllable. There is just no pause between them. Listen to this sentence with the vowel link. Tu es là? Once again. Tu es là? Now, listen to the sentence if I don't link them, if I pause between them. Tu es là? Tu es là? As with consonant links, vowel links are also a natural way of speaking. The French always make them, unless pausing between words. And there is no limit to the number of vowel links in a sentence. Tu es où? Let's look at other examples of vowel links. Je fais une sieste. Je prends une photo. Ça a été. In this sentence, there are two identical vowel sounds next to each other. You don't pronounce one of them differently to distinguish them. You simply say a longer sound. Listen to the difference. Ça a été, ça a été. Whether the French speak at a normal or fast pace, they make consonant and vowel links. These links make it difficult to know when one word ends and the other begins. Now, I am going to talk about the biggest challenges of fast spoken French. In everyday conversation, the French speak very quickly, casually, and often very informally, which affects vocabulary, pronunciation, and even grammar. It is also important to understand that there is no one way only to speak French fast. It depends on the person, their speaking habits, and where they come from. What's more, although everything I'm about to tell you should only be done in an informal context, you may hear them in more formal context. First up, we have the ne of the negative. You've learned to use ne before the verb and pas after it for the negative form in French. In fact, the French almost never use ne when speaking. T'en fais pas. Let's look at other examples. Je lui en veux pas. J'ai pas compris. Remember that the subject pronoun je becomes J apostrophe in front of a vowel or mute H. For example, we say and write j'aime. J'en sais rien. Next, we have the subject pronoun nous. You've learned to use nous to say oui in French. In fact, the French almost always use on when speaking. On is an informal way of saying nous. On use the same conjugation as subject pronoun il, he, and elle, she. Instead of saying nous mangeons, the French will probably say on mange. Let's look at other examples. On part à midi pile. On va boire un coup. On a passé un bon moment. Then, when the French speak fast and casually, they often use a more colloquial vocabulary, such as shortened words. Resto, ciné, après-midi, appart, ordi, télé. They also use slang words. Des fringues, un flic, kiffer, meuf, chelou, relou. Now, let's take a look at how speaking fast and casually affects French pronunciation. Some consonant sounds can be dropped. This is the case with certain L's and R's. The French are often unaware of dropping them and don't do it on purpose. It is just a way of speaking. It happens a lot with subject pronouns il, he, and il, the masculine or mixed they. When the word that follows them begins with a consonant, the L sound is often dropped. Il va où? Il faut qu'on se dépêche. Il m'en reste un peu. Ils font quoi? Ils ont débarqué à l'improviste. Here, the L can be dropped because even if the word that follows it begins with a vowel, it begins with a consonant sound because of the liaison. Ils sont au resto. When il is used in il y a, il is very often completely dropped. Il y a une voiture. Il y en a pas. Il y a 10 jours. The L sound of subject pronouns elle, she, and elle, the feminine they, is also often dropped. Elle part demain. Elle travaille à Paris. Elle m'en a parlé. Elles étaient dans ma poche. Elles reviennent demain. Elles parlent trop. The L sound is also often dropped when found in a consonant cluster and followed by E at the end of a word, as in words ending in PLE, BLE. C'est super simple. Il est sur la table. Have you noticed that the word following il begins with a vowel? So the L sound is not dropped. We make a consonant link instead. Il me semble que oui. You can also hear random L's being dropped from time to time when the French speak fast. Il y a plus de café? Ça me dit quelque chose. Je lui dis quoi? The French R is often dropped when found in a consonant cluster and followed by E at the end of a word, as in words ending in TRE, VRE. À votre santé. Je bois 4 litres d'eau par jour. J'ai lu 2 livres pendant les vacances. And you can also hear random R's being dropped. Parce que some vowel sounds can be dropped when the French speak fast. The U sound of the subject pronoun tu is very often dropped. Tu is the informal way of saying you. T'es où? T'habites ici? T'as faim? The vowel E, when pronounced E, is also very often dropped. I've done an entire video about it, so I am not going to explain it here. But here are some examples. Je dois le faire. Je bois de l'eau. Je le sens mal. You can also hear random vowel sounds being dropped from time to time. Le v'là. T'es où, pas? Je vous en prie, madame. Peut-être que oui. And all those sounds being dropped create sound changes. One of the most common is when subject pronoun je is pronounced sh. Je pense. If the I is dropped, it sounds like j'pense. It is called assimilation. One sound is modified by contact with another sound. Once again, the French are often unaware of these modifications and don't do it on purpose. It just happens when speaking fast. Let's look at example of this in French words. Absent. The rule is that the second consonant modifies the first. So the S sound modifies the B sound and it becomes a P sound. Médecin. The S sound modifies the D sound and it becomes a T sound. Eczema. The Z sound modifies the K sound and it becomes a G sound. Anecdote. The D sound modifies the K sound and it becomes a G sound. So, as more and more sounds are dropped, it creates more sound changes like those. Let's look at some examples. Je suis à la bourre. Je sais pas où c'est. Je tiens plus debout. C'est la faute à pas de chance. J'ai un point de côté. Elle habite au-dessus de chez moi. So now that you are aware of what I like to call the unspoken rules of fast French, How can you get better at understanding spoken French? Here are a few tips to help you gradually improve your French listening skills. Yes, I insist on gradually. You have to learn to walk before you can run. My first tip for you is practice. You can't improve if you don't practice. Practice means that the more you do something, the better you get. So practice listening to French content as much as you can, every day if possible. My second tip is active listening. Active listening means focusing on what you are listening to, not just playing it in the background, and listening while reading the subtitles. That allows you to associate written words with their pronunciation, helping you assimilate all the pronunciation rules you've learned. My tip number 3 is watch the same video several times. By watching the same video again and again, what was just gibberish to you will eventually be more and more comprehensible. My tip number 4 is gradually increase the difficulty. This is the key to training your ear to the sound and speed of native French speakers. As a beginner, start with slow French videos. They will help you understand how French words are pronounced and train your ear to all the French sounds. Once you are comfortable with slow French videos, once you think French is easy to understand, you know it's time to make things more difficult. Watch videos of someone speaking French with clear pronunciation, like a French teacher on YouTube, such as Guillaume, Elisa, Nelly. French teachers generally speak more slowly than normal, articulate better, and pay more attention to their pronunciation. And again, once you are comfortable, make it harder. Find several French YouTubers who talk about subjects that interest you: gardening, cooking, politics, travel. French YouTubers speak at a normal pace, which is fast. When they speak fast, they start dropping sounds, changing others, using more colloquial vocabulary, and so on. Focus on the overall meaning instead of trying to grasp every word. Trust me, this works wonders. And keep practicing, keep listening, active listening. Watch the same video several times, gradually increase the difficulty, and remember that it takes time to improve your listening comprehension and finally get comfortable with real-life conversations. And you can watch this video to start training your listening skills. À la semaine prochaine!